Welcome to the Conspiracy Tapes, fellow truth seekers. I'm your host, Ryan Martin, and today we're peeling back the pixie dust to explore the darker mysteries that lurk beneath Disney's pristine facade. For nearly a century, Disney has crafted an image of pure magic and wholesome family entertainment. But what if I told you that behind those iconic mouse ears and fairy tale castles lies a web of conspiracies, cover-ups, and spine-chilling secrets? Imagine trying to unravel the truth about a place so carefully curated, so tightly controlled, that the line between fact and fiction blurs beneath the smiles and parades. That's the challenge we face with Disneyland. An empire built on dreams but shadowed by rumors. Some say it's just harmless fun, but others whisper of cryogenically frozen heads stored beneath the park, FBI informants hidden in plain sight, tragic deaths erased from public memory, and supernatural hauntings that defy explanation. These stories range from the provable to the purely speculative, but each one paints a picture that complicates the picture-perfect world Disney presents. It's like trying to understand The Wizard of Oz by only watching the yellow brick road, or decoding the truth of a fairy tale from behind the curtain of the great and powerful Oz. The secrets are there, hidden in plain sight. So buckle up, put on your mouse ears, and prepare to see the Magic Kingdom through a very different lens. Because once you know these secrets, you'll never look at Disney the same way again. Let's start with perhaps the most bizarre and persistent conspiracy theory in Disney lore. The myth that Walt Disney's head is cryogenically frozen somewhere beneath Disneyland, waiting for the day when technology can bring him back to life. Picture this. It's December 1966, and Walt Disney, the creative genius behind an empire of imagination, is on his deathbed. But according to tabloid reports, this isn't the end of Walt's story. It's just the beginning of his most ambitious project yet. The theory goes that Disney, always fascinated by futuristic concepts and innovation, had become captivated by the emerging field of cryonics. Robert Ettinger had just published The Prospect of Immortality in 1964, making cryogenic preservation a hot topic of the era. The idea was revolutionary. Preserve a body at ultra-low temperatures with the hope that future medical advances could revive the deceased. For a man who spent his life bringing the impossible to life through animation and theme parks, the concept must have seemed like the ultimate frontier. According to the conspiracy, a journalist claimed to have witnessed Disney's frozen body in a metal cylinder shortly after his death. The rumor was so persistent that predictions about his potential thawing circulated for decades, including speculation about a grand revival on the 55th anniversary of his death in December 2021. But here's where it gets even more intriguing. Some theorists believe Disney's 2013 animated hit Frozen wasn't just about a princess with ice powers. It was a calculated move to manipulate internet search results. Think about it. Search for Disney and Frozen together, and instead of conspiracy theories about Walt's preserved corpse, you get pages and pages about Elsa and Anna. Brilliant digital damage control or just a coincidence? The truth, according to official records, is far more mundane. Disney's death certificate clearly states he was cremated, and his ashes rest peacefully at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale, California. His own daughter expressed doubt that her father even knew about cryonics during his lifetime. But the persistence of this myth speaks to something deeper: our fascination with the man who created Mickey Mouse, and our desire to believe that someone capable of such magic might have found a way to cheat death itself. If cryogenic freezing seems far-fetched, our next revelation about Walt Disney is not only documented, but declassified by the FBI themselves. For approximately 26 years, the man who brought us Snow White and Pinocchio may have been leading a double life as a federal informant. This isn't the stuff of imagination. It's historical fact, uncovered through the Freedom of Information Act. In 1993, biographer Mark Elliott accessed Disney's FBI file and shared it with the New York Times, who validated its authenticity. What they found painted a picture of Walt Disney that would make even his darkest animated villains seem tame by comparison. From 1940 until his death in 1966, Disney allegedly served as an informant for the FBI's Los Angeles Bureau, providing intelligence on Hollywood figures suspected of harboring communist sympathies. This was the height of the Cold War, when paranoia about communist infiltration ran rampant through American society, and Hollywood was considered a prime target for ideological influence. The evidence goes beyond mere speculation. In 1947, Disney testified before the House Un-American Activities Committee, where he denied employing anyone he suspected of being communist or fascist. But behind closed doors, he was apparently singing a different tune, reporting on colleagues and acquaintances who might pose a threat to American values. By 1954, Disney had been designated as a special agent in charge contact, a title typically reserved for the FBI's most trusted informants. Imagine the man who created the happiest place on earth, secretly documenting the political leanings of his fellow entertainers, filing reports that could destroy careers and lives. During his congressional testimony, Disney detailed how certain studio strikes were led by individuals with alleged communist ties, specifically naming people and organizations he believed were working against him and, by extension, America itself. The man who taught children to wish upon a star was simultaneously helping to fuel one of the darkest chapters in American entertainment history. This revelation adds a chilling dimension to Disney's legacy. While he was publicly crafting stories about good triumphing over evil, he was privately participating in a system that destroyed lives based on political beliefs. It's a reminder that even our most beloved cultural figures can harbor secrets that challenge everything we thought we knew about them. Now, let's shift from conspiracy to confirmed tragedy, because Disney's history isn't just about hidden agendas. It's also marked by real deaths that the company has worked hard to keep out of the public consciousness. July 8, 1974, was supposed to be just another magical day at Disneyland. But for 18-year-old cast member Deborah Gale Stone, it became her last. Deborah worked at the America Sings attraction, a rotating theater experience that featured 6 theaters circling a central stage. Her job was to greet guests and see them off after the 24-minute show, a routine assignment that should have been perfectly safe. But that evening, something went horribly wrong. Deborah became caught between a moving wall and a stationary one, and was crushed to death. Witnesses reported hearing screams emanating from within the walls themselves, a sound that haunts the imagination and contradicts everything Disney represents about safety and joy. According to the LA Times, Deborah Stone became the first employee to die in Disneyland's history, shattering the illusion of the park as a completely safe haven. Her death led to safety modifications, but tragically, it wouldn't be the last workplace fatality at a Disney property. The incident gave birth to urban legends that persist to this day. Some claim Deborah's spirit still haunts the location where she died, warning others to be careful. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, the psychological impact of such a tragic death in a place designed to be magical creates a cognitive dissonance that's hard to shake. Fast forward to 2003, and tragedy struck again at Disneyland's Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. A 22-year-old guest lost his life when a train car derailed inside a tunnel, injuring 10 other visitors. Unlike some other incidents, this death was handled with relative transparency. The president of Disneyland Resort publicly acknowledged the accident and extended condolences to those affected. But here's where things get murky. A persistent rumor suggests that Disney has an unofficial protocol for managing deaths on park property, ensuring that individuals are never pronounced dead while still on Disney grounds. The theory goes that this protects the perception of Disney parks as perfectly safe environments where nothing bad can happen. The case often cited to support this theory involves a 1964 incident at the Matterhorn ride, where a teenager fell and was found unconscious, later passing away at a hospital. The ambiguity around whether he died on site or at the hospital feeds into the conspiracy. However, historical records complicate this narrative. Deaths have been officially recorded on Disney premises, including incidents in 1984 and 1998 involving the Matterhorn and Columbia sailing ship respectively. So either the alleged protocol isn't consistently followed, or the conspiracy is simply untrue. What's undeniable is that Disney works incredibly hard to maintain its image as the happiest place on Earth. And any death, whether covered up or not, represents a crack in that carefully constructed facade. Speaking of things that go bump in the night, let's explore the paranormal side of Disney, where the line between attraction and reality becomes disturbingly blurred. The Haunted Mansion at Disneyland isn't just famous for its 999 happy haunts, it's also renowned for reports of actual supernatural activity. Cast members and guests have frequently reported unexplained phenomena that go far beyond the ride's carefully programmed scares. We're talking about experiences so consistent and widespread that they've spawned their own mythology. Take the stories of the Crying Boy and the Man with the Cane, well-documented ghostly encounters that have been reported by numerous witnesses over the years. These aren't just glimpses of something moving in peripheral vision. They're detailed sightings that occur when the attraction is closed and empty of guests. Cast members describe an atmosphere that becomes genuinely unnerving during late-night maintenance checks, when they're alone in the mansion with only the mechanical sounds of the ride for company. The question becomes, in a place designed to simulate haunting, how do you distinguish between artificial scares and genuine supernatural phenomena? Some theorists suggest that the Haunted Mansion's legendary count of 999 spirits might actually be closer to 1,002, or perhaps even more, if you include the uninvited guests who have decided to take up permanent residence. But the Haunted Mansion isn't the only Disney attraction with a ghostly reputation. Pirates of the Caribbean has its own spine-chilling backstory that bridges the gap between Disney's early cost-cutting measures and contemporary supernatural claims. When Pirates first opened in 1967, the skeletons featured in the cave scene weren't the pristine plastic props you see today. They were real human skeletons, acquired from a local college to save money on expensive reproductions. Over time, these genuine bones were replaced with artificial replicas, with one notable exception. According to persistent rumors, there's still one remnant of those original human remains, a skull positioned on the headboard above the magnifying glass-wielding pirate. Unlike its artificial counterparts, this skull is noticeably larger and shows natural discoloration that suggests an authentic origin. Think about the irony here. Someone who donated their body to science ended up as a permanent prop in a Disneyland attraction, entertaining millions of visitors who have no idea they're looking at genuine human remains. It's both fascinating and deeply unsettling. Then there's the infamous case of George at Walt Disney World's Pirates of the Caribbean. While I maintain some skepticism about this particular ghost, there's no documented evidence of fatalities during the ride's construction. The belief in George is so strong among cast members that they've developed a tradition of saying goodnight to him at the end of each shift. Some employees claim to have photographed George, though no convincing evidence has ever been made public. Whether George exists or not, The fact that Disney workers have incorporated him into their daily routines speaks to the power of belief and the way legends can take on a life of their own. At Hollywood Studios, the Tower of Terror brings us another tale of workplace tragedy turned supernatural legend. The ride features 4 loading platforms, Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and Delta, that channel into 2 drop shafts. Legend has it that many years ago, a bellhop stationed at Platform Delta died right on the spot as guests were boarding. Since then, cast members claim his spirit continues to haunt the area, causing unexplained shutdowns, erratic lighting, and ghostly appearances that don't match the ride's programmed sequences. The belief is so strong that employees refuse to inspect Platform Delta alone, instead covering it as a group, a testament to the enduring power of workplace folklore. These stories force us to confront an uncomfortable question. In places designed to manufacture magic and wonder, is it possible that genuine supernatural phenomena get lost in the noise? Or are these simply the products of suggestion and imagination, fed by the inherently spooky atmosphere Disney has worked so hard to create? Now, let's pull back the curtain on some of Disney's more earthly secrets, the sophisticated systems and psychological techniques the company uses to control your experience in ways you might never realize. First, let's talk about the utilidors, Disney's secret underground kingdom that most guests never see. Beneath Walt Disney, World's Magic Kingdom, lies an extensive network of utility corridors that serve as the understage to the park's magical on-stage areas. This innovation came from Walt Disney's vision after he observed a costumed cowboy from Frontierland walking through Tomorrowland, breaking the immersive illusion he was trying to create. Instead of traditional backstage areas, Disney built an entire underground infrastructure where cast members can move throughout the park without disrupting the guest experience. Due to Orlando's high water table, these utilidors are technically built at ground level, while the Magic Kingdom itself sits on the second floor. This means that when you're walking through Fantasyland, there's an entire hidden world of maintenance, storage, and cast member facilities directly beneath your feet. The utilidors aren't unique to the Magic Kingdom. Epcot and even Disneyland have smaller versions, though none match the scope of the original. These tunnels serve practical purposes, but they've also become fodder for urban legends, including jokes about housing Walt Disney's supposedly frozen head. But Disney's manipulation of your experience goes far beyond hidden infrastructure. Let's examine a theory that hits close to home for anyone who's ever waited in a Disney line: the deliberate manipulation of posted wait times. If you've visited Disney World, you've probably experienced it yourself. Standing in a line that takes significantly longer than the posted estimate, or conversely, moving through a queue much faster than expected. While some of this can be attributed to normal operational variations, many visitors suspect something more deliberate is at play. The theory suggests that Disney employs a sophisticated queue management system that considers factors like crowd flow, revenue targets, and guest behavior to calculate wait times strategically rather than accurately. Inflated wait times might discourage people from joining certain lines, prompting them to purchase Lightning Lane passes, Disney's paid skip-the-line service. Meanwhile, deflated estimates might encourage people to join queues when Disney wants to distribute crowds more evenly. There's also a financial incentive. Longer posted waits might drive frustrated guests to spend money at nearby shops and restaurants while they wait for crowds to thin out. Conversely, when people discover a line is shorter than expected, they feel fortunate and leave with a positive impression. The challenge is proving intent. Are these discrepancies the result of calculated manipulation, or simply the inherent difficulty of predicting crowd behavior in real time? Disney has never publicly admitted to intentionally misrepresenting wait times, leaving this firmly in conspiracy theory territory. Then there's the famous 30-step rule, a theory about Disney's strategic placement of trash cans that actually has some basis in documented history. The story goes that Walt Disney conducted informal research at amusement parks, observing how far people would walk before dropping litter. His conclusion was that the average person would dispose of trash within about 30 steps, leading to Disney's standard of placing trash cans approximately every 30 feet throughout the parks. While proving this theory would require extensive measurement across all Disney properties, the abundance of trash cans throughout the parks lends credence to the story. Whether it's exactly 30 steps or not, Disney's commitment to cleanliness is evident, and the strategic placement of waste disposal options clearly reflects careful planning. This attention to environmental psychology extends to countless other details. The way pathways are designed to control crowd flow, the use of forced perspective to make buildings appear larger than they are, and even the specific scents pumped into different areas to enhance emotional responses. Disney has turned guest manipulation into an art form, but unlike the more sinister conspiracies we've discussed, these techniques are generally designed to enhance your experience rather than exploit you. The question is whether you're comfortable being psychologically guided through your vacation, even if it's for your own enjoyment. As we move into more recent territory, Disney conspiracy theories have evolved to address contemporary concerns, particularly around the COVID-19 pandemic and modern business practices. When the pandemic hit in 2020, the theme park industry faced unprecedented challenges. Disney parks worldwide shut down, reopened with restrictions, and struggled to balance public health with business interests. This uncertainty created fertile ground for conspiracy theories, including claims that Disney covered up COVID-19 cases at its parks to maintain attendance and preserve its reputation as the safest place on Earth. The theory suggests that Disney was so motivated to keep parks operational and profitable that it allegedly concealed positive cases among guests and employees. This would represent a massive cover-up involving potentially thousands of employees and guests, requiring coordination across multiple departments and potentially violating numerous laws and regulations. However, like many pandemic-related conspiracy theories, this claim has never been substantiated with credible evidence. Disney, like other major corporations, faced intense scrutiny during the pandemic and implemented visible health protocols. Any large-scale cover-up would require the silence of countless individuals and would be nearly impossible to maintain. Still, the theory persists because it taps into broader anxieties about corporate responsibility during crisis situations and questions about whether profit motives can override public health concerns. Another modern mystery involves something called the Disney Quest Fire, an incident where firefighters responded to a Disney Quest location despite no visible flames, smoke, or structural damage. The lack of clear information about what actually happened has left this event shrouded in mystery and speculation. Some theorists point to this as evidence of Disney's ability to suppress information about incidents that might damage the company's reputation. Others suggest it was simply a false alarm or a minor incident that was resolved quickly. Without more detailed public records, the truth remains unclear. The digital age has also given new life to older Disney conspiracy theories. Urban legends about secret passages and tunnels connecting various parts of Disneyland have been fueled by YouTubers claiming to have discovered hidden entrances and underground networks. While Disney does maintain the utilidor system we discussed earlier, claims about secret public access tunnels are generally unfounded. One YouTuber named David August claimed to have found a secret cave connecting different areas of Disneyland, but his documentation was more myth than fact. The persistence of these theories reflects our fascination with hidden spaces and secret knowledge, even when the reality is more mundane than the fiction. There are also persistent rumors about Disney's Boneyard, not just the interactive children's play area in Animal Kingdom, but an alleged secret junkyard where the company stores old ride vehicles, animatronic parts, and discontinued attractions. While Disney certainly maintains storage and maintenance facilities like any large operation, the idea of a vast, secret graveyard of retired attractions captures the imagination of Disney fans who want to believe their favorite discontinued rides live on somewhere. These modern conspiracies share common themes with their historical predecessors. They reflect our desire to believe that Disney is both more powerful and more secretive than it appears, capable of orchestrating massive cover-ups while maintaining its wholesome public image. As we reach the end of our journey through Disney's conspiracy underground, it's worth reflecting on what these theories tell us, not just about Disney, but about ourselves and our complicated relationship with corporate mythology. Some of the stories we've explored today are grounded in documented fact. Walt Disney's role as an FBI informant is supported by declassified government documents, and workplace deaths at Disney properties are matters of public record. These revelations remind us that even our most beloved cultural institutions have complex, sometimes troubling histories that challenge their public narratives. Other theories, like Walt's cryogenic preservation or systematic COVID cover-ups, exist purely in the realm of speculation, fueled by our collective desire to believe that Disney possesses almost supernatural powers of deception and control. What's fascinating is how these conspiracies persist despite official denials and contradictory evidence. The cryogenic freezing myth endures, even though Disney's cremation is documented. Ghost stories multiply, even though supernatural phenomena remain unproven. Wait time manipulation theories thrive, even though operational challenges provide simpler explanations. This persistence suggests that Disney conspiracy theories serve a purpose beyond truth-seeking. They help us process the cognitive dissonance between Disney's carefully crafted image of innocence and the complex realities of running a massive entertainment corporation. They give us permission to feel suspicious of an entity that seems almost too good to be true. There's also something inherently appealing about believing that a company capable of creating such convincing magic might possess real supernatural abilities, whether that's bringing the dead back to life, harboring genuine ghosts, or orchestrating elaborate deceptions that span decades. The truth, as always, lies somewhere between the official Disney narrative and the wildest conspiracy theories. Disney is neither the purely wholesome family entertainment company it claims to be, nor the sinister puppet master organization conspiracy theorists imagine. It's a complex business that has worked harder than most to control its public image. Whether you choose to believe in frozen heads and manipulated wait times, or stick with documented facts about FBI files and workplace tragedies, one thing is certain. Disney will continue to inspire both wonder and suspicion as long as it holds its place at the intersection of childhood innocence and corporate power. The next time you walk through those castle gates, remember you're entering a place where carefully manufactured magic meets very real human complexity. Every smile has a shadow, every fairy tale has footnotes, and every conspiracy theory, no matter how outlandish, reflects our deep-seated need to peek behind the curtain and see the wizard for who he really is. Whether that wizard is a beloved storyteller, a Cold War informant, a corporate manipulator, or something else entirely depends on which version of the Disney story you choose to believe. But isn't that choice ultimately the most magical thing of all? If you want to know more about Walt Disney's FBI ties, Disneyland secrets, and other conspiracies, Download the Skoob app on the App Store or Google Play to unlock the full experience. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the Shadow Kingdom. Remember to question everything, believe in magic responsibly, and always keep one eye on the utilidors below. Until next time, this has been the Dark Magic. Sweet dreams, and watch out for the ghosts.